Okay, guys, so we would love to introduce ourselves and share a bit about a very exciting regenerative neighborhood project that we are involved with here in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, very close to Tulum.
Yeah, so I'm going to share screen, share sound, optimize for video clip. Let's go. All right.
Okay, yeah, so we are
Regen Tribe.
Mhm.
We are a collective of community co-creators. Take it away.
Yeah, my name is Oscar. I have a background in event marketing, in technology with a blockchain company, and in general, social impact, technology-based activism missions.
I'm Nicole. I have a background in anthropology and design and marketing, and I have taken multiple courses in eco-village design, and then we've been collectively studying these practices for designing regenerative spaces, living spaces, community land projects, and what we call a regenerative neighborhood. And we wanted to clear up some like any questions about what we mean when we say regenerative neighborhood, because we use that phrase a lot.
Yeah. Next slide. So a regenerative neighborhood is a sustainable and intentional community land development that creates a net positive impact. We are a collective researching these kinds of projects, different kinds of eco-villages, sustainable communities, all of these words that we hear, and making our efforts to log them and collect information about them to be as informed as possible as we start to work with projects in different forms. And Kuyabeh is one of these projects.
So we are so excited to share with you about Kuyabeh today because it is a regenerative neighborhood that we've been directly partnering with and have just this year been invited to collaborate on a much deeper and more meaningful level. And we're so excited because it is a beautiful spot. Some of the things that make Kuyabeh special is that it is 400 hectares of Mayan jungle, and that makes it officially Mexico's largest eco-village. The vision holder actually presented documentation to local governance bodies so that this could become the first legally recognized eco-village in Mexico. It's known as like Ecoaldea. And because of this, it's been able to be designated also as a sustainable microcity because of its sheer size. This picture is an aerial view of Kuyabeh, and you can see how the roads form a biophilic leaf design pattern, which we find so delightful. So it is located on what we call the regenerative runway. It's 30 minutes outside of Tulum, situated on a highway to Kuyabeh, which is a main road that is also home to 5 other regenerative neighborhoods that are partner projects of our collective Regen Tribe.
Kuyabeh. Bienvenido a un lugar que te invita a florecer. Kuyabeh es la comunidad que te ayuda a replantearte todas tus preguntas. Un lugar donde la felicidad se apodera de nuestros días, donde la naturaleza nos abraza y la cultura maya nos acobija. Una comunidad que busca el cambio de cada día. 375 hectáreas creadas para la reconexión con lo esencial. Un espacio en la jungla maya diseñado para la sanación del ser. Todo esto puede ser tuyo. Conviértete en dueño de una hectárea en Kuyabeh y sé parte de una nueva realidad.
All right, so Kuyabeh, a little backstory. After our collective branded and launched our first regenerative neighborhood experience here in Mexico called Ikumal, we connected with Kuyabeh, a much larger project, to share strategies for building the community culture and implementing effective infrastructure that would help the community grow sooner and faster. We began with events, marketing, and consulting support, and now are stepping into much more committed partnerships, like helping them set up a 2-hectare agroforestry food system and suggesting next steps for the pioneer community getting launched.
These photos are all taken at Kuyabeh. And this large photo, you can see our beloved collective member, Julia Becker, with a butterfly perched on her forehead inside of the cenote at Kuyabeh. And so check this out. Kuyabeh is already quite developed. The existing infrastructure is quite staggering because Kuyabeh was actually started by a traditional developer who had a near-death experience and decided that he needed to pivot his life and change his impact and contribution to the world. So this is what's been able to allow him to create such an incredible place with all of this infrastructure. There's a cenote, a temazcal, a community pools, a nursery garden, a kitchen and restaurant, dining spaces, a jungle market, a adorable pet park, a watchtower, several outdoor palapas and an auditorium, jungle gyms for both adults and kids, several hammock and sit spots and boho decorations everywhere. And also in development is a 2-hectare lagoon and several storefronts. So these are also pictures from various spots at Kuyabeh. But here's the deal. The status of the project is that after 8 years, all of this public amenities have been built, and 180 of the 500 lots have already been sold, but there are only 4 houses that have been built and 1 person who has started living there on the weekends. So in this sense of bringing the sustainable development to life, the vision holder has been working with us more in order to create culture there and get people living there, because it's such an amazing opportunity, but no one wants to be the first one on the dance floor. No one wants to be the first one to live in community if there's not a community already there. So this is where we come in. We are building a community of community builders at Kuyabeh that will support the rise of the regenerative neighborhood movement. We are so excited to be able to develop certain parts of Kuyabeh that we've been entrusted with. And we are looking forward to bringing forth the projects that we will share with you in the next couple of slides. So essentially, our community at Kuyabeh is a home for regenerative neighborhood builders. The mission, should you choose to accept it, is to create more regenerative neighborhoods all around the world. Our community is completely dedicated to catalyzing the regenerative movement, and this reflects in the pioneer community that we're building at Kuyabeh. The co-creative vision is to seed a sustainable and intentional community in the jungle within Kuyabeh, where community members are building and growing the regenerative neighborhood movement and all of its projects together. So tell us a little bit about this special opportunity.
Okay, Kuyabeh's goal, like the project of Kuyabeh exemplifies our collective's approach to creating regenerative neighborhoods. We definitely seek to live in an awesome place. Our collective, which is comprised of entrepreneurs, we're all nomadic, and we've been looking for the right places. Instead of finding our own piece of land, gathering investment, and starting from scratch, our model is to find pioneers doing their magic, like this land developer who has created beautiful infrastructure and set up a lot of the foundation, and is now looking for the magic of community culture and lessons learned from magicians like you guys. Calls like this that let us know how glamping tents can lead to community being there right away, or having energy exchange opportunities can lead to having a pioneer community at your space that really catalyzes and kicks off the community having a live-in population.
So our invitation to you is to join the community of community creators.
Yeah, so these are some of the lessons that we have picked up and learned from a lot of the projects that we have been logging and inventorying over the last few years. Early stage housing is key. Having a place for people to live, having a shared kitchen, and potentially a shared bathroom to super speed having places where people can call the land home right away. Providing energy exchange opportunities for the pioneer community members to make the place home and have some sort of value exchange, right? New paradigm, new economies, new ways of exchanging value with each other. Some people have lots of land. Some people have some infrastructure, and some people have a lot of time and energy to dedicate. And in this cycle, we can all create win-win-win scenarios. An early focus on growing food. This is one of the strategies that Kuyabeh is now implementing. 8 years in, which is a little later than we would like to see, but now going full force to create a 2-hectare syntropic agroforestry system. And having an active makerspace where we can use these circular saws collectively and put our hands on the matter to get stuff built for the community and recycle and upcycle things into creative projects. This is the focus of the agroforestry system. This yin yang here is a 2-hectare installation that we will be pioneering at Kuyabeh with our partner permaculture team called Phoenix Farms. This lagoon here, shaped like a hummingbird, will be a strategic water holding pond that will be used to feed the agroforestry system and hold water as the rainy seasons in Tulum, a subtropical arid area, creates lots of rain during seasons and then no rain for a long time. So this will be our first pillar project, the agroforestry system at Kuyabeh.
So we have already kicked this off and we have begun conversations with the land and bringing our permaculturists and agronomists on site to convert ultimately these 2 hectares into the syntropic agroforestry community garden that will feed the community members.
Yeah, we're currently collecting biomass in tons. Here in Yucatan, there's no topsoil. It's pretty much all limestone. So it requires a dedicated focus to create soil.
And this brings us to the next pillar project that we're working at Kuyabeh, because we know a lot needs to be done in order to make this syntropic agroforestry system work. And in this space, we are converting 3,000 square meters of unused worker space, which is about the size of a football field, into our permaculture academy. We will be seeding an ecocultural innovation hub, which is a model innovated by one of our collective members, Nina Bazan Sakamoto. She has researched intensively how to incorporate DEI models into community settings, and is bringing community engagement strategies to this project in order to support local and indigenous entrepreneurship as well as community entrepreneurship. And this is exemplified first in the Permaculture Academy, which will combine a strategy of both work exchange and compensation for those of the people who would like to deepen their skills and how to build soil and grow food in the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah, that will bring in the early stage housing and create the opportunity for work exchange, where people will be creating the pioneer community, giving the land project a win, giving people the opportunity to energy exchange for living spaces, and with a point system, potential ownership on the project as well.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a makerspace, an existing wood shop that will be glowed up into a makerspace, both for the community and visitors, to see how from local materials, we can create abundance and beauty for the land project.
Uh-oh.
And this brings us to our most exciting part. The owner next to the property has a 3-hectare degraded cow pasture piece of land. This area will be designed and planned by our collective to create a iconic eco-village style regenerative neighborhood piece as an amenity to the macro community of Kuyabeh, while also creating the space for a pioneer community to move in and create the sense of community authentically.
So this is our flagship project at Kuyabeh. It is an actual chance for true regeneration, where we're taking completely degraded land and regenerating it not only ecologically, but socially. And so we'll be bringing all of the magic of the humans and the flora and fauna back to this place. If these are real pictures, these are not renderings. If any of you have been to or heard of the community Holos in Costa Rica, they have these tents on top of their hill there. These are tents from a service provider that we work with called Enchant Tents, and they are sustainable early stage housing, is very low cost and so climate appropriate for what we're trying to do in the pioneer community at Kuyabeh. This is the Makto model. I'm going to go to the next slide and show you this inside view of what it looks like inside of this model. This is one of the many models that we'll be using. Bless you. They are modular, built on a wood platform, so it's raised to conserve the jungle flooring, made of marine grade canvas, and built and designed with cross ventilation so that it's actually quite comfortable inside without the need for AC, which is highly climate appropriate for Mexico, especially during the summer.
And with the full 375 hectare project being off grid. So everything will be solar panels, batteries, and a series of off-grid systems.
Yes, and the fun thing about these is that they also are modular, can entertain like private bathrooms and personal showers. So they're super beautiful. This is a layout of our community lab at Isha.
So in our first iteration to populate and kick off the project at Kuyabeh, we are working with a nearby land project, a 5 hectare space where these tents are being prototyped and used by our partner Enchant Tents. This is the eco village that we are currently calling home. Practicing the practices of community culture creation, starting to grow our pool of permaculture energy exchangers and community pioneers. This is a call out for anyone seeking to start living in community now and experiencing what authentic community culture creation, permaculture, bioconstruction looks like.
Yes, so all of these numbers represent a pre-existing infrastructure, community kitchens, private cabanas, and infrastructure of our living headquarters in Mexico.
10 minutes from Kuyabeh.
Which is 10 minutes down the road from Kuyabeh. Yes. So these are the features that we know that we want to include in the 3 hectares at Kuyabeh for the pioneer community. We want everything to be centrally located around a community house, which will include recreational and a shared kitchen and just places to exist as magical beings.
Cuddle puddle for sure.
Cuddle puddle spaces. We know we want a tea house where we can lounge and sip, alternative beverages that are healthy for us. We are going to populate the jungle, sprinkle throughout the jungle these personal cabanas, which Enchant Tents offers different exciting and very beautiful models. We want a water temple where we can just honor the elements, as well as a highly functional co-working collab, because we're digital nomads. That the place we didn't mention, actually, Kuyabeh has Starlink, and so does our other community. So we're very focused on still being connected and still being able to work as professionals in the world. So here's a look at our community culture pillars. We espouse a growth mindset, collaborative energy, conscious connection practices, tech and innovation, and always giving back via avenues of activism, which we practice here.
Right, making the culture truly regenerative, aiming to leave things better than we found them as best we can.
So here's a look at how we're also practicing bioregional relationships. These are communities located in the same biozone that we have built alliances with. And we are collaborating with them to exchange resources, to support each other in the community creation process, because these are also emerging communities that Regen Tribe works directly with.
Yeah, one example, you can switch. One example of this leveraging of local over global is a collective buy of a mega wood chipper. Everyone here needs to take down dying trees that are in the way, mulch them, and turn them into potential biomass for soil. So these are examples of how these biozones that we are now setting up across Yucatan and Mexico can bring local collaborative efforts to regenerative neighborhood projects that we have identified and are on the map. This is a map of Mexico macro and the Yucatan Peninsula.
So our biozones connect regenerative neighborhoods that are close to each other so they can share resources, create mutual networks for resilience, and measure their collective regenerative impact with data, hard data, which we can use to show governments, funders, like larger scale campaigns to be able to invest in all of these regenerative neighborhood projects. So here's the most exciting part, how you will get involved. Take it away, Oscar.
Yeah, so as we shared, we've created a roadmap to populating a space like this, getting a regenerative neighborhood that is on the books, authentically recognized, and getting the authentic feel of community there. Starting with the Permaculture Academy, where people can come and learn energy exchange for living situations and create the pioneer community. A community lab work exchange. This is now started at Eekshell, the nearby community project, where we are growing our collective and the pioneer community.
We're moving in there today, actually. We're moving all of our stuff to fully live. It's been a headquarters for us. We're now going to be fully living there until we go to Enchanted in July. Yeah.
And so more direct ways, the beautiful thing about this project is that a lot of the logistics has been handled. It is turnkey process to find a piece of land in the macro community and purchase as an investment, as a place for you to design and build your own space later on. They're truly connected to the environmental process and only allow a 7% development rate on the land. So it is truly sustainable and making the moves to be regenerative with the other parts. And a final strategy we're presenting to the owner with a project of this scale is the concept of bulk buying. So vision holders with the idea of creating their own micro community, not 375 hectares, but maybe 5 hectares or 10 hectares, can bulk buy lots and design their micro community within the macro community of Kuyabeh.
So this is one of the other strategies that we've been really a proponent of, because we see people all building their communities by themselves, separately, independently, without leveraging the existing land projects that already want to activate their space, that already want to invite other people in to collaborate. So this is something that we very much advise, because it will help your project start faster rather than acquiring a virgin piece of land and having to develop from stage one. Something like Kuyabeh is a true gem in terms of that most of it's already built, and there's a lot of room for people to bring forth their creative visions for community within this space and within the container that we hope to create there as people who are so passionate about creating these havens for regenerative living here on Earth. So this is our group picture. This is us. This is our, we are a team of remote and digital nomads. There are even people that are not in this picture that we love very much and we collaborate with to bring forth this vision. So this is get in touch with us, right? We operate as an open collective. So we practice collaboration actively. We are open books, open source, open arms. We are also adding more members to our collective. And if you would like to contribute your magic to similar projects, if you would like to live with us, just reach out. We're going to drop all of our contact in the chat.
Yeah, follow the journey. Regentribe.org is the website. Our Instagram is also Regen Tribe. We'll be sharing the journey of our community space at Ixchel, our build up to moving to Kuyabeh. And we will be hosting weekly calls, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, discussing lessons learned of the process to building these communities and growing these regenerative neighborhoods, and ways that everyone can get involved with the regenerative neighborhood movement and creating more of these projects around the world.
Let's collab. I'm going to drop the Google Calendar invite in the chat as well.
Awesome. So excited for you guys.
Yeah. Any questions? Anyone have anything to share? We'd love to field anything. Like, what would it take for one of you guys to move to a place like this?
Now.
Oh, yeah. What would be the living quarters like? What would be the conditions like if I wanted to come and live there for a while? What would be the next steps?
Okay, so we have these glamping cabanas that you saw in the photos, which are like hardwood floor, elevated platforms, and these marine grade canvas. It feels like a bedroom inside. We'll share links to a deck that shows each one of the units at the space where we're currently going to be living, and the same ones that will be built at Kuyabeh as the early stage residencies. Right. We have a combination of energy exchange models where if you're supporting with the culture of the community, you can join now, and a sliding scale on the cost of anywhere from a traditional A-frame tent to more of the luxury glamping cabanas that have their own bathroom and hot water. And obviously the whole property has internet because we are all digital and we work that way.
And how many people have you got kind of signing up to go and live there at the moment?
We're going to be with, including volunteer team, like energy exchange community members. There's about 12 people at the moment.
And how much does it cost for one of these?
At the place where we currently are with the sliding scale, it ranges anywhere from a couple of $100 for the more simple tent without their own bathroom to close to $1,000 a month for the more luxury glamping cabana with its own bathroom, hot water, and but we are really big on the energy exchange model. Community members who are seeking to have a more long-term stay, right? Morgan, I asked you how many people are living at your place, and it's really beautiful to hear that you have 3-year residents, 2-year residents. The current vision holder of the space has been holding the torch on his own and living with a very short-term kind of volunteer program model and some guests. Our involvement is to create the longer-term community feel there, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. While we go to Selgars for Enchanted, we hope to leave a few community members there, holding the torch of community authentically, holding the space, having the meetings weekly, and continuing the projects at our initial pilot community space as we build up to moving to Kuyabeh with more long-term residencies and the permaculture project.
You can also camp. That's another option.
Right.
Like if you want to come and really rough it, like come, we have extra tents like that are regular camping tents, or bring your own. And if you want to stay like for next to nothing and still be contributing, like
definitely,
anyone's more than welcome.
Yeah, there's a big shared kitchen. We do 3 shared meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, meetings in the mornings, meetings in the afternoon. We're really putting the infrastructure in there to operate the space as a functioning unit and organism.
And who cooks? Do you share the cooking, or is it?
We have a shared cooking program, and we're actually looking for a kitchen magician, someone who loves it, and this is their niche. And some of us will come in to support with the cooking, but it's always nice to have a lead in the kitchen to drop that magic for us every day.
Okay, great. Yeah, I might just know I might know people over there that could come as well. So
Cool.
yeah.
That would be excellent and awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I have friends in your area too who I think would be really interested, at the very least, to come and connect and see what you guys are doing.
Cool. Yeah, I would
Awesome.
connect with us on Instagram, you guys. Drop us a couple of messages. Like, doors are super open. We have our house packed up right now. We were living kind of in the suburbs near Tulum, and now we're moving there today after this call, actually. Yeah. So we were super excited to share and get it out there.
Great. Thank you. This is wonderful. And a
anybody-
gorgeous site.
Anybody you know, just give them my number directly, and I'd love to interface with them.
Okay. And hopefully I can make it to Enchanted. I really, really hope.
Yeah, Enchanted.
I keep
So
saying I'm
pumped.
gonna go over. It's just I've got all these dental surgeries. If people can't find what's wrong with them chronically, get your teeth checked. Apparently,
Yeah.
you can
Teeth,
host
the
all
bones are
sorts of
showing.
infections in your mouth.
No way. That's insane.
It's insane. I've got £10,000 worth of dental work over the next 2 years. That's how bad it is. But
Wow.
so
Oh, no.
first
Well,
surgery.
at least you cracked it.
At least I found it. I've been sick for years.
That's crazy.
So if anyone needs a holistic dentist, I'm your girl. But first surgery is just before Enchanted. So if surgery goes well, I'll be there. Hopefully be there. Yeah.
Cool. I'll save you a spot. So, cool. Well, just to wrap up, it's because the person that was facilitating has what was his name? Alex. Yeah. So lovely to hear about all your projects, to tell a little bit about my story too. And yeah, I think there's a real buzz. Hey, good to see you. I think it's in many ways we're kind of like, Morgan is kind of maybe a few years ahead. You know, we've had our kind of 4 months here, and then you guys are just starting on like day one. And it's such an interesting and exciting kind of energy and journey that we're all going on. And yeah, have fun, enjoy, be kind to each other, and have a lot of fun in the little things, because there's so many little things to appreciate in these types of adventures, right? Like from entering to kind of creating a feeling of home, to all the things you learn, to also all of the hard work and sweat and everything. So yeah, it's always beautiful to listen to and see these projects in different corners of the world. And yeah, may we meet again soon.
Oh yeah, we will see you soon.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Look forward to meet online, in person in the future. Yeah.
Ciao.